Before the Law, freely adapted from Franz Kafka. Spoken by Mira's echo. Once upon a time, a man from the country, after many days and nights of wandering, came to a gate that towered so high it seemed to touch the sky. Its doors were of dark, heavy wood, old as the mountains, and from its cracks shimmered a light that promised more than words could ever capture. Before this gate stood a doorkeeper. He was as broad as a boulder, with a grey cloak that fluttered in the wind, and in his eyes gleamed a quiet, impenetrable wisdom. The man drew near, bowed, and said, "I have come to ask for admittance to the law." But the keeper only raised his hand wearily and said, "Not now, perhaps later." The man was startled. He drew back, yet did not dare to pass through the gate. The guard seemed immovable, as if he himself were part of the gate, inseparably fused with it. And so the man sat down beside the threshold on a small stool he carried with him and began to wait. The days passed. Sun and rain took their turns. Dust settled upon his boots. Sometimes he heard the wood creak as if it were calling to him. And when the guard stepped aside, he thought he could catch a fleeting glimmer of light. Golden as the morning, deep blue as the distant ocean. Each time he would ask softly, "May I enter now?" And each time he received the same answer, "Not today." Weeks rolled into months. The man brought small offerings. A piece of bread, a few coins, a jug of wine. The keeper accepted them, barely nodding, and said, "This is so, you do not think you have left anything untried." The man remained resolute. The once strong wanderer became an old man, his back now bent. He would often listen to the stories of the wind, which told of distant villages, and he wondered if his family still thought of him. Sometimes he would speak with the keeper about rain and harvests, but as soon as the conversation turned to the law, the other would fall silent. "Why does no one else come?" he asked one evening. The doorkeeper answered curtly, "This entrance was meant only for you. That is why you see no one else." The years came and went. He experienced summers in which the heat made the wood breathe, and winters in which snow covered the steps and his breath stood like smoke in the air. Birds built nests above the gate, and the man saw generations of them come and go. But he remained. His eyes grew weaker, his hands more gnarled. In his dreams, he spoke with the law itself. Sometimes it was a radiant palace in whose halls all knowledge rested. Sometimes a mighty voice that whispered answers to him. Yet every awakening brought him back to the same scenery. The gate, the guardian, the stool. He began to talk to himself. "Perhaps," he murmured, "the test lies in the waiting. Perhaps the law reveals itself only to the patient." On other nights, he whispered, "Or I am a coward because I never dared to take the step." The doorkeeper heard his words, yet remained silent. Years later, already grey and frail, the man touched the wood of the gate with trembling fingers, felt the warmth of the sun within it, and asked one last time, "Why else does no one want to enter here?" The guardian bent down, his eyes flashing for a heartbeat with something like pity. "No one else could have gained entry here. This gate was meant only for you. Now I am going, and I will close it." Then the man understood, in that final moment. All those years he had waited, had sacrificed his strength to doubt instead of passing through the gate. His gaze faded, and the threshold remained uncrossed. The gate still stood, tall and dark, but without him. And so it is still told today. The greatest barrier is often not the gate before us, but the fear within ourselves. Whoever always waits loses life. Whoever dares lives.